Here we go again, y'all. Another major media outlet exposes NBA 2K. So far, that's the Washington Post, that's the New York Times with a major article on NBA 2K, and now Vice.com. Could this really be the beginning of the end? Are 2K's ways really getting exposed? We finna get into all the details. If any of you guys are new here, drop a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
What's good, y'all? I'm AllCity. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Firstly, this article was sent to me by Jeffro, aka Man Cool. If any of you guys have useful information that you would like me to help share with that NBA 2K community, definitely add me on X, and while you're there, drop a follow. More and more news media outlets are pretty much exposing 2K's ways. I know a lot of us 2K players would like to believe that 2K's ways are commonplace. A lot of 2K players only play 2K or other sports games. And because some of the most popular sports games practice the same tactics as 2K, these aggressive microtransactions we think is all commonplace, is all just part of gaming. We're all just stuck in our own little sports gaming bubble. I hate to do it, y'all, but it's past due time. We gotta burst that bubble. This is not commonplace for gaming. You know, I remember one time Ronnie 2K referencing 2K headquarters as a whole different world. Considering that 2K's #1 line item expense is marketing, they invest a lot of money into getting you guys to spend your money. They developed this whole world that you guys are just living. And now you guys are out there purchasing overpriced virtual clothes for your virtual players with your IRL money.
$315 for an Xbox game? This is $315! What in the hell is this?
Exactly. Our kids' spending is out of control.
Boy, what did you spend $315 on?
It's my NBA game. I bought virtual clothes for my virtual players.
And you about to get a virtual ass whooping.
As you guys see, most grown and responsible people don't see spending $300 on a video game as commonplace, especially when that video game is released annually. 2K taking advantage of a lot of our love for sports and living vicariously through 2K to get our basketball fix. And before we get into the newest article ripping NBA 2K25 apart for their aggressive microtransactions, I would like to reference a couple snippets from the New York Times article, which I created a video on. I'll have a link to that video in the description below, in case you guys want to see the full article that the New York Times released. In this first snippet from the New York Times article, it says, to encourage players to spend money, Electronic Arts and 2K have made the experience of virtually opening card packs as appealing as possible. A tiny dopamine rush triggers a desire to buy even more. Jamie Madigan, the psychologist who specializes in video games, said these systems operated on the same principle of random rewards as slot machines at casinos. The anticipation is more important than the reward itself. There's been research, Madigan said, to show that the exciting part isn't finding out what's in the box, but before you open the box, seeing the little effects pop up, hearing the sounds, watching the opening animations. It's little things like that that leave you guys heavily anticipating what's on the other end. And when you don't get that dopamine rush, you try and try again. And this is particularly concerning for children as their minds haven't fully developed yet. And the New York Times article even touched base on that. It says here in this next snippet, Celia Holden, the founder of Group Ethical Games, said loot boxes are especially problematic for children because the part of their brain that helps regulate compulsions has not fully matured. It's really hard for kids to refrain from trying to get the thing that they want to get, Holden said. If you have mechanics like these in games for kids, it's clearly unethical. NBA 2K is rated E for everyone. When these type of aggressive microtransactions are in a game, it should only be rated M for mature. I mean, take a look at these titles. The New York Times article was titled, "When Sports Games Feel Like Casinos, Players Rarely Win." The Washington Post said NBA 2K mega fans are preparing to leave the game behind. And in the newest article coming from Vice.com, it says NBA 2K and the 2K stands for dollars. Going on to say the NBA 2K series is well known for its gameplay. Unfortunately, in recent years, it's become known for aggressive monetization practices. And right before we get into this Vice.com article, I want to remind you guys that NBA 2K and Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two Interactive is paying its top 2 executives executives 72 million this year, a number that could go far higher based on some factors, including an uptick in player microtransaction spending. It goes on to say that pay was disclosed in Take-Two's annual proxy filing to shareholders and offered as a mix of cash and stock, and that number is more than doubled what those execs were compensated the year prior. About 2 years ago, these top two execs were paid 72 million. They split that, and that number was primarily generated off of the amount of microtransactions that you guys gave 2K. The more money that you guys spend on microtransactions leads to a larger bonus for the top two execs. And we're not talking about chump change here. As you guys see, 2 years ago, it was at 72 million that they were getting. We're not talking about company-wide. We're only talking about two people in the company receiving that type of money. Imagine what that number's at right now, after they done introduced the Hall of Fame pass, pro pass, and level skips. Forget about it. Now let's get into what Vice.com had to say about NBA 2K's monetization practices. This article was written by Anthony Franklin, and he starts the article by saying, "I love basketball. It was my first love growing up. I played AAU ball, and I mentioned before that Kobe was my favorite player ever, so naturally I spent a great deal of time playing NBA games, NBA Live, NBA Courtside, the Jam games, and of course NBA 2K. I've put hours upon hours into the 2K series since the first game on Dreamcast. Visual Concepts has always put together a technically sound basketball game that has never been in doubt, and so far I share the same sentiment. I feel like 2K is a well put together game, but it's just missing some key components, and before they addressed the concerns from the 2K community about these key components, they seem to now prioritize monetization over gameplay." Anyway, neither here nor there. Vice.com continues on by saying the problem lies in the predatory and aggressive monetization that has existed in the franchise for almost 10 years. A decision that has led to a decline in overall quality in the career mode and a loss of focus on what matters in that mode. He says the NBA don't even move like the way 2K is moving. "The only real complaint I've had with the 2K series in recent years is just how in your face the game is about getting you to spend money. From the moment you get into the main menu, you're met with a pop-up that's asking you for your money. I can't even get into the mode first, and not only that, what I find real shady about that pop-up, you know, when you load up NBA 2K25, you get that pop-up. Normally, we're just hitting like the X button to keep going, but if we hit X with that pop-up on the screen, it's gonna take you into a buy menu. And I think that's just shady and shiesty. Neither here nor there. The article continues on to say the most egregious version of this is what you see in the MyCareer mode. I need everyone working on the game to see this. No one wants to start off a 60 overall and grind their way up to enjoy a single player experience. We play the game to escape to a world where we could be an NBA player, not work like one." Absolute facts. Go ahead, Anthony Franklin, do your thing, man. He says, and even that would be forgivable if you weren't incentivized to spend money by the way of park in the city. The 2K series has essentially become another form of social media because of these modes. The issue is that in order to enjoy it with other people, you have to be around an 82 overall just to have a shot. And more often than not, people have spent money to get to the 90s on day one. And this last snippet is titled "Bring Back Just Being a Sports Game." He says, "I'm not anti-microtransaction as I used to be, but I'm 100% against how 2K seems to believe it should be done. Games are $70 a pop now. No one should be forced to spend another $50 to $75 to get the full enjoyment of a yearly sports game out the box. Grinding isn't fun in a game where you're simulating doing something you can only dream of. Some people live vicariously through these games and career mode experiences. Unfortunately, this is the way they've chosen to handle the game, and it's a shame because despite all of this, it's still a very good, pure NBA gameplay experience. There's just too much extra surrounding it to ignore it." Now, I don't know what's to come from all of these major outlets exposing 2K for their monetization practices. 2K has been so aggressive with their monetization over the years that now it's seeping into a lot of our households. Remember that first clip with Marlon Wayans in the beginning of the video? There's a lot more parents yearly who are experiencing the same exact thing. 2K has come under lawsuits from parents saying that they made it too easy for their kid to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars. The New York Times referencing NBA 2K as a casino, and the players never win. As always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, so share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're new here, drop a like, drop a sub. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.